Is that true? Greetings and aloha. What's going on? It's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com. I'm here at probably my favorite coffee shop here in the Big Mango, Pomrian Coffee and Cozy. And there's a couple of reasons I'm doing this, not the least of which is I just like doing live streams. But the other thing is I'm using technology, as you know I like to do. But the way that I'm using this is basically I'm going from OBS into StreamYard. And so that allows me to, for example, show the comments. And good to see you guys. Awesome. Love your good vibes, Aztec. Love them. And so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this because I kind of like this one, I think, a little better. Let me see if I can do this one. Yeah, that one's kind of cool. And I don't know, you know, it's really weird. For whatever reason, a bunch of people that I've been talking to lately have been really citing depression is something that's going on in their lives, be it here in Thailand or be it in, like, back home. Pretty much all my buddies are from California. And I love the shirt, Joe. Love the shirt. And it just got me to thinking, like, honestly, guys, I think it's going to be more of I think there's going to be more of a negative consequence globally as far as like emotionally taxing versus financially. Now, I know financially there's a lot of people that are like really hurting. And hey, Todd, good to see you, buddy. But man, for whatever reason, it just seems like this common like thread sort of thing with a bunch of my buddies has been like depression. And well, that's depressing, right? And so I was just like walking around today and I'm thinking, God, you know, I mean, I'm grateful, right? As you guys have probably heard me say in the past. But I don't know. I was almost speechless, quite frankly, because I'm thinking, man, this is going to have lasting effects. This is going to have really, really pretty lasting effects. Yeah, Todd, you're doing better than yesterday. Thanks for your video, dude, yesterday. Honestly, man, I really appreciate your honesty and your openness and all that. You know, I mean, I know that for the most part, I think, you know, people that are subscribed to your YouTube channel, it's, you know, part of the Cool Kids Table. It's part of other channels, part of Rob, part of JC, part of, you know, and, you know, I mean, shoot, we're all rooting for you, right? But anyway, it was really good. It's good to hear like what's going on in your life, man. But it was also real. I mean, like you said, you know, you're real, right? And I really, so I didn't get a chance to watch your whole video, your new one, your 50-minute one. But I'll do that when I get home. It's about 2:30 right here, and this coffee shop actually closes at like 4. So I'm really only going to hang out for an hour. But I wanted to kind of check in with you guys because I don't know. I don't think I've been feeling depressed. I've been a little lethargic, probably. But you know, I guess one could argue that's to be expected simply because of the gray that's sort of like in the weather right now, right? Todd has got an email from Elite saying Ministry of Foreign Affairs is going to approve his certificate of entry and wait for the correct stamp next week. That's pretty awesome. What's today? Today's Friday? Thursday? Friday. Today is Friday. So that's pretty good. I'm glad a beverage that is a depressant helps you. That's good to hear. Watched the whole journey so far in one sitting just a couple of days ago. It's terrific, Todd, and appreciate the journey. Absolutely, dude. It's still great to hear. Aloha, doctor. Thank you for coming by, buddy. Mahalo. Glad you're here. And always nice to see Caesar. Indeed, it is. I don't know. I just, you know, I was talking to some buddies that are here locally. The majority of the guys that I talk to, though, that seem to be the most depressed are the ones that are back home in California. we've got some options here, or at least I have some options here. I've got the option to like cruise around Tuesday. And you know what's funny? So I just got an email actually from AirAsia reminding me that I now have 2 no-shows on my AirAsia pass, and I'm only allowed 3. So one of the reasons that I'm going down to Krabi on Tuesday is mainly so that I don't have a no-show on my Saturday flight, which is the return flight from Krabi back up to here. And so it's going to be a short trip. I'm sure there won't be rain every single day, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether I'm feeling melancholy. Is that like the right word? But I'm definitely feeling like a little tired. And who knows? Maybe it's just like sleep. Maybe it's something else. But the cool part is that I think environment for me is really important. I don't know if that's the right word. Helpful. Let's just say that. If I'm in an environment, like this, right, which is there's a lot of greenery, I'm covered from the rain, there's sun, behind me, right? This is pretty cool. I have power and I have internet. I did a speed test here, and the free Wi-Fi in this coffee shop is 146 down and like 97 up, and I'm like, this is great. So I get my free water, but I also got a couple of mochas today, and I'm disturbing. I'm disturbing your sleep, Mad Tech. Sorry about that, buddy. It was interesting. I wanted to do, or I was considering doing a live stream yesterday afternoon, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to do one that was fairly convenient for the guys in the UK, right? Because like Mariano in Germany, and then, other guys in London that are sending me messages that, gratefully watch the live streams afterwards. But they're like, okay, so, middle of the night, Mike, like, what's going on? And so anyway, here you go. Good. I just see you here, Dana. What is this? Dana, what does this comment say? Go find Jib. Anyway, thank you very much for coming by. I'm sorry that I'm illiterate, but I appreciate the attendance, Kunang. But you know what? Here's what's up. Is one of the things that I was confronted with, Dana, is people around me that are, either really, like I have one, like literally best friend category, and he's up against it. And he is, he's living in an area of California that is essentially locked down. He can go outside and he can go for walks, and people wear masks, which is great. The downside is that I've discovered that many of my friends, colleagues, and I know it's loud here, by the way. And if you know anything about, the way that I've done streams from here before, is I'm on the edge of kind of like where this coffee shop is. And then I am basically talking into the parking lot, like through the foliage. So ideally I don't bother anyone behind me. But again, like I said, I'm only going to be here for about an hour because I know that they want to close up at 4, and it's, it's just down the street from where I am. Anyway, so this environment really helps me. It really helps me to be in a comfortable environment. And again, I've shared with you guys before. I mean, that was one of the sort of the impetus for getting me to move to Thailand when I moved to Thailand. I mean, I could continue. I mean, it's very easy to wake up in the United States and do the exact same thing tomorrow that I did yesterday. And then magically at the end of the month, like thousands of dollars just showed up in my bank account, right? I mean, that's the way work works. And the requirement for me was that I get up every morning, Monday through Friday, and I attend my job, and for the most part, a lot of it was technically interesting. But as I mentioned before, I mean, the leadership was incompetent. So I lost interest. But I was like, no, I'm going to be happier there than I am in Southern California. So, how you know I'm bald, baby? Aztec, I also want to really thank you. I reached out to Aztec and kind of asked him some questions. I've asked you guys in general some questions before, like about my behavior, like, hey, dude, so just checking in, like, am I doing anything that's like, you know, kind of thing? And I want to thank you, specifically Aztec, Dana as well, and also some of my other buddies that don't necessarily, they hang out in the chat. They hang out with me online and that sort of thing. And they were able to sort of, you know, put up a mirror, you know, and give me kind of like a double check on my behavior and that sort of thing. And then from there, I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing this okay, or I'm not doing this okay, or I need to change this or whatever. I need to change my perspective or something. Because again, it wasn't just like, okay, well, something weird is like going on. It's like, man, like 3 guys that I talked to in a row are really having a hard time. And there's nothing I can do. I mean, other than just sort of listen, right? And be like a good buddy. But I can't like stand-up routine my way into like making their life better. I mean, I can't, you know, I mean, one of the phrases that I use sometimes is, hey, dude, don't worry, this too shall pass, you know? And again, I didn't make that up. It's just something that I heard along the way, but it's been helpful for me to realize, and I know that I'm smacking my microphones right now. It's been helpful for me to realize that, like, you know, if I have a really bad headache, or if I have a stomach ache, or if like around me, oh my God, or if I'm broke, or I've lost my job, or I'm on unemployment, or whatever, this too shall pass. And usually I apply it to the negative things in my life. Now, it's important to realize that, like, when life is freaking spectacular, well, this too shall pass. Like, there will be change, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the crazy positive is going to go away, but you know, it's an opportunity. Saudi, oh, thank you very much, Dana. I appreciate that. That was neat that person shared that. I'm honored that they come by. I'm honored when the locals come by. You know, that's pretty neat. Big D and Bald M. Oh yeah, that's right. Dana's hearing is coming back. So if you don't know, I mean, obviously, guys, we have our 9 a.m. live stream tomorrow with Bangkok Strange. But it's really weird. I mean, I'm probably at the highest level of loss for words right now, and of course, here I sit continuously speaking, with some pause, I suppose, that I have been in a while. You know, when bad things are happening around me, or people are uncomfortable or that sort of thing in their own skin, you know, I'm able to sort of pause and say, okay, yeah, I mean, I'm not immune to that. That can happen to me too. But my buddies in California are really, you know, a lot of people in the United States that think that, well, California's the promised land. Everyone's happy in California. And, yeah, I mean, I'm sure like you guys, Dana and I, for example, I mean, one of the great things about what we do is the fact that, you know, we meet up at least twice a week. And, you know, we double click on our sanity. And we have projects that we're working on. And of course, there's the Bangkok Strange channel. And then, you know, we're working on, you know, podcasts and interviews and that sort of thing. And, you know, so it gives me something to do. I've got Live My Ass Off. And if you don't know, I haven't mentioned this before. So what I've sort of done lately with Live My Ass Off is I'm putting a little bit of pause onto it, because on the back end, effectively what I'm doing is I'm coming up with a brand. And not only am I coming up with a brand, I'm also using the process of outsourcing those skills or those items or those processes or those tasks to guys, you know, that I find, gals, really, actually, I think it's like 60% women and like 40% men, I think. Anyway, I can't remember exactly, but it's like Fiverr and Upwork and that sort of thing. And I'm really trying to sort of outsource that. So one of the tasks that I'm doing is like, okay, come up with a logo. And I'm throwing like, you know, 50, 100, you know, 60, $20 at the various people. And I'm just trying to go through the process to realize, okay, but I put a task out there and I do this, you know, for the channel, for the product, whatever. How long is it going to take? What am I going to do in the future as far as, you know, branding this? I don't particularly like editing necessarily myself. I love doing live streams with you guys. Again, you keep me sane, and I love the interaction. But you know, I want to have a guy for that, you know, and so I want to have someone who like does my thumbnails, and I want to have someone who can make a demo reel, if you will, right? You know, which is like the first video that you see, because the first video on my channel that you've never subscribed before, you see this video of me talking about when I was in my mid 40s and I hadn't even moved to Thailand yet. And so obviously my life has changed significantly. Like I've been here a year almost, you know, and so it's like, I want someone to do like, you know, an intro video and help me do that. And what does that say? I'll be happy to get off these drugs though. Yeah, I know, I'm sure, man. I tell you what, after a while, it's like, okay, modern medicine, Western medicine, great. It like makes me, you know, right? But then it's like, God, I feel like I'm full of chemicals. Like I hate that feeling, you know, but again, I guess it, you know, it helps. Obviously antibiotics are very helpful if you need them. I hope I'm warm enough too, man. I got a fan on me for the most part, just so like the mosquitoes won't get into my legs. But doesn't this camera look a lot better than normally? I mean, obviously there's a lot of natural light, but I'm going through OBS. And one of the things that I discovered is that when I run the video and the audio through OBS before running it into StreamYard, it seems like the quality is better. Now, in some of my testing, it seemed like there were some artifacts to this sound. It seems like there was like about a 10 or 15 second delay almost. And then there was like this, you know, like it was about 60 dB down, but I could like hear my voice again. So I don't know if that's happening. And again, part of me doing this right now is to test this and then listen to it afterwards because, you know, I like that. I like doing that. It's enjoyable for me, but I also want the product to be continuously better, you know? And take drugs so I can handle taking the other drugs. Yeah, I know. That's when you're like, well, you know, the side effects of this are you're going to start, you know, you're going to start twitching. So take this anti-twitch medication because the previous medication is going to help you with your, you know, whatever, right? It's like, well, it may cause twitching. So just take this anti-twitch. It's really kind of interesting. How's the diet? So the diet is pretty stagnant. Blush kicks feet bashfully. No, dude, I appreciate your, I mean, again, you and I haven't really met, right? I mean, we haven't like sat down and stuff, but I like to think that we're certainly expanding on our acquaintanceship, you know, with the trajectory feeling like friendship. And I'm honored by that. And so I really appreciate the time you spent yesterday answering my questions. I hope that it makes me a better person. And, you know, I like to think that you and I have kind of shared our thoughts on various things. It seems like, you know, if this, I mean, there's 2 other seats at this Cool Kids table, and Dana could physically probably walk over here. But someday when you guys are able to walk over here in the Big Mango and we can all hang out at this Cool Kids table, it probably isn't going to be like, hi, my name is Mike, and so I'm 41, you know, or whatever. We're going to like go through our dossier. It's like, no, dude, I've been chatting with Aztec forever, you know. So anyway, Dana says he's also got to eat way more food than he would like with the medicine, but I'm enjoying that part. Yeah, I mean, you know, eating is fun. I love eat. Well, I don't necessarily love eating, but I just don't particularly like the results, you know. Just noticed the Dual Labs rocking live stream in full stereo. So here's what's interesting about that. Yes, there's 2. This mic is actually, yes, it's 2 mics, but primarily it's designed so that you and another person can plug into a mobile device via tip ring sleeve and have like a dual interview thing. Because the output of this microphone is tip ring sleeve, and then I go into a splitter that takes tip ring sleeve and splits it into mic and headphones, right? And then I go into this. Then I'm taking the audio and I'm running it through OBS. And I'm adding a little bit of a compression on it and a little bit of limiter to this sound. I had some noise reduction, but there's just such a gargantuan amount of white noise. And again, I'm sitting at the edge of the parking lot and I'm near the road. So if I duck that down, then it basically is like, yeah, you know, and so I don't like that. But again, it's just, you know, me messing around. But thank you. I appreciate the positive reinforcement. Dust, wind. Yeah, no. I mean, there's tons of it. It's very loud where I'm at. BM, baby. Plenty of BM on the BS. My buddy, his name was Jim McGinnis, JM. And so when he would get on the air at 101 KGB in San Diego, he would be like, JM in the PM on the FM 101 KGB. He was a great guy. Jim McGinnis, I remember him like it was yesterday. Mike loves that soy fried chicken. I'm a big fan of this soy. I'm actually down. This is soy Udam Suk 19 where I'm at. And so that soy goes between Udam Suk and Sukhumvit 101/1. And Cali is paradise, but it's on fire and fighting internally. Yeah. I mean, there's portions of it that are paradise. Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, my paradise switched to Florida several years ago. because I was literally, Gracie and I went for a long weekend, left San Diego and flew to Florida to hang out on the west coast of Florida because it was too cold in San Diego. We had to like warm up and go to Florida. I love the west coast beaches, you know. Indeed, up near LA and that sort of thing, there are beaches in you know, California that go on forever, and they're very deep, like basically from the road to the water. I mean, there's tons and tons of sand. Huntington Beach, and I mean, they're really big, much bigger than the ones in San Diego. San Diego, probably the deepest one is probably Mission Beach. Maybe Pacific Beach, depending upon where you are in it. But for the most part, Mission Beach is the one that pretty much has the biggest amount of real estate between like the boardwalk and the water and the Pacific. But man, the Florida beaches, I really like them. And then of course there's the hot, humid, you know, that sort of thing that I really like. Now, not to mention the fact that there's no personal income tax. And just to be clear, there's I think 5 states in the US that have no personal income tax. Florida has no personal income tax on dividends either. So that's really huge. So the all we are is dust in the wind, dude. Yo, Socrates, watch your dress on the was it Socrates or was it Beethoven that they were concerned he might catch his dress on the escalator? Mr. Bill, Mr. Ted. That was a great movie, wasn't it? It's a classic lines from that one. Mike, do you desire to be a hashtag Florida man? It's only water holding us together. Yeah, absolutely. I'm in the west side of Florida. Yeah, Joe, I got to tell you, I think you're in, remind me, are you in Tampa? I know I've had this discussion before, and I know you've told me before, and obviously I've also forgotten before. And again, I've forgotten. Yeah, so St. Petersburg is basically where both of my companies are registered. And had I been able to go home, I think I mentioned this to you guys before, July or August of this year, then I would have first gone to Boston and hung out with my parents for 2, maybe 3 weeks. And then from there, again, the plan was also to have Gracie with me, and then Gracie and I were going to fly down to Florida. And one of the things I was probably going to do is buy like a bucket of land. There's tons of plots of land there in all of these, you know, predetermined, you know, housing developments, and there's like 0 houses, but there's like lot after lot after lot, and there's like dirt roads. Some of the roads have been paved, but they've been there so long, and they're in the Florida sun that the asphalt is like, it's wet. It's like been bleached by the sun. So like this black asphalt is now like light gray. Some of them have power. There's telecommunications in some of them. Most of it is aerial, which is kind of weird, you know, so that gives you an idea of how long it's been in there, meaning that they didn't like do the development and be like, okay, we're undergrounding everything. But again, you know, you've got a water table that potentially is higher than they'd like. And so they're like, just throw it on poles. But I was thinking about buying a plot of land like that, and because it's anywhere from like $3,000 to $4,000, and then that way I would have like actual real estate in Florida, and I would be, you know, paying property taxes, which of course would be nothing, but nonetheless, then I could get a Florida driver's license. And I think pretty much as far as Florida is concerned, once you get a Florida driver's license, then you're definitely a resident. And you know, I would have felt better about just doing that versus like just getting a P.O. box and being like, okay, now I'm claiming residency. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, my body is outside of the United States more than half the time. That's for sure. You know, so I wasn't like, oh, I'm lying to the federal government, you know, by being, no, I'm definitely not living in the U.S., but I got to claim residency somewhere. That's right. That's right. Tampa, very good. Yeah, exactly. Socrates. Socrates, watch your dress on the escalator, dude. All we are is dust in the wind, dude. Yes, those goofy little things. I can't help but wonder, like, what's the Thai equivalent of that? Like, what is the Thai equivalent of the movie Airplane? You know? Like, do you guys quote Airplane? Like, hospital? That's a big building with beds in it, but that's not important right now. What's our vector, Victor? You know, things like that. Or what's the other one that I used to quote too is you're either first or you're last. Talladega Nights. What a classic movie, right? So I'm here in this environment that I like quite a bit. And so I was trying this morning, yesterday, the last couple days, for whatever the last like 2 days prior. So today's Friday. So Wednesday and Thursday, it seemed like I had a higher density of very good friends / people that I care about in my life describing to me a negative scenario in their life. And I mean, they're my buddies, right? So it's kind of like, okay, look, dude, I wish I could hug you better, but I wish I could hug you, a $10,000 grant from pandemic unemployment or whatever you believe is necessary to get you through this next, financial distraction or emotional distraction or whatever. And TB Bucks and Mr. Brady. Ah, okay. There are some funny Thai comedies way over the top. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm not as familiar with Thai things as Dana, for example, right? So, meaning someone who's lived here for longer than I have, quite frankly. But I would, up till this point, and sometimes they're like 2-3 minutes, these Thai commercials for like soap or like water or like leather bags or whatever, but they're produced with the premise of this heart-wrenching scenario of like someone being homeless and someone saving their life and someone like sacrificing, their goodwill to be able to like help this poor homeless person or someone who's really struggling through life. And then they just, I've cried at these things. They're on YouTube, and I don't know how you would YouTube it or Google it. I guess you could probably say emotional Thai commercial. Maybe if you did that, you would find one. But boy, I watch these things and of course they go through this whole emotional gut-wrenching scenario, you get to the end of it and then they're like, bye Thai, because that'll make you feel better. Like a dog with 3 legs and how it like saves the life of an old woman and carries her groceries across the, it's just, and then, you sit there going, and then, and they're like, ooh, snail white for better skin. It's like, wait a minute, I'm not going to buy a Zuzu just after you've basically emotionally crippled me. But anyway, that's sort of that's the most experience I have with, video from originating in Thailand having an impact on my life. But anyway, so back to I wanted to like hug my buddies better, right? And I can't do that. And again, one of the reasons that I'm so grateful today is because, I've been up against it. I've had bad times. I've had bad times that literally, if I had gone through with my plan, I literally would not be here today. My plan was, I'm going to off myself. and I'm a long way away from that. Trust me. My biggest problem today was, I don't know, should I order another hot mocha? Well, I don't want that much caffeine, but it does come with free water, so I'll do that. My most recent biggest problem was, do I go live at 2:20 or do I go live at 2:10? And it's like, no, I want to mess around with the technology a little bit more. Let's pick 2:20 in the drop down, So I have luxury problems today, is my point. And so really all I could sort of think to do was, share a couple of the things that I have going on for me. Because again, my life is not without imperfection. Look, we all know that right here is supposed to be Gracie. Like the team, let's see. Team Mackey is not at full strength. And it's not like Gracie's in the penalty box. But there is some degree of external forces that, life is on a power play. And Gracie and I, she's benched. And, we can't be at full strength over here. And so, was that enough Canadian hockey references for you guys? And, so that's imperfect. But And I hate it. I don't hate it. I dislike it a lot. It bums me out. But I'm not depressed over it. I'm disappointed. And, Gracie and I still interact. I think she and I messaged each other recently, less than 30 minutes ago, so I can kind of share that, like, okay, there's this disappointment in my life, and I'm not saying that, it's any worse than yours, friend, but maybe like, here's the way that I sort of deal with it, I guess, and I mean, again, part of it is they're like, well, what do you do to keep busy? And I say, well, I do live streams with buddies, and these guys keep me sane, and they're from Australia and the UK and Germany and California and Tampa and, and down the street on, Sukhumvit 90 off of Sukhumvit 93, my buddy Dana. And so I can't really cry at some of those commercials. Crazy, right? Yeah, and I saw that you posted one there. Thanks. Yeah, you guys click on that when you have a chance. I'm telling you what, dude, it's just like, oh my God, I think I'm going to die. But now I really want to go to Big C and buy some Charmin. Like, I don't, so that's kind of funny, right? It's not kind of funny. It's very effective, I think, I mean, I don't know if it sells more product, but it certainly is something that I remember. Just saw HT2 and looked for the Dana Academy Award. Yeah, nice work, dude. This one made him cry. All right, cool. Right on. Thanks for sharing, dude. 3 weeks ago, they were just hockey references. Now they are Canadian hockey. Well, okay. So at the end of the day, Canadian hockey and hockey are pretty much synonymous with me. And, I said this when I was a child, like when I first started learning how to ice skate, like on the nearby pond, that, Americans fight and Americans will move the puck around. Canadians play hockey. Americans fight. Canadians play hockey. I mean, they fight, don't get me wrong, but their level, their skill set on the ice is awesome. It was okay the first 10 minutes, then I fell asleep. Right, exactly. Yeah, hashtag Team Mackie, dude. I mean, I'm telling you, that's what this is supposed to be. And I'm trying to, I don't mind sharing this with you guys, but I'm trying to remember, like, if I've cried over this. I think I have, probably. I think I've been, you know what? I know I have. Like, Gracie would send me, like, a little video that she would shoot, on, like, WhatsApp or whatever, and I would just be like, oh, my God. Like, I just, and she's, like, she's just sitting there, like, in front of her phone or, like, in and making this little 5, 10, 20-second thing, like, hey, I miss you. I love you. And I'm just like, so I guess I would, tear up over that. But man, I mean, thank God it hasn't transitioned. It hasn't risen to the level of, I think he erased it. But if you guys had the opportunity to see the Dorman's video yesterday of his level of frustration with not being able to get to his teammate, his lady, he got choked up, right? And I mean, real men cry. Like, we're all clear on that, right? Like, because if you don't believe that, it's gonna be a little bit. You're gonna get uncomfortable at the cool kids table because you're gonna be like, dude, come on. It's not a requirement to do that, to be at the cool kids table. But you're going to find the cool kids table really weird if you're at it and one of us shares our real emotions with you. And for some reason you look at it going, well, that's weird. Because if you do, then you're right, it is weird for you. And the cool kids table is not, you're welcome, but, you might not find it cool, I want to label it a safe environment, but it may not necessarily be. It'll be, oh, dude, Mariano, Kap kun ma kap. Kap kun ma kap. €2. Dude, what are you kidding me? Isn't that like, it's 80 baht, right? Thank you, dude. See, and look at that. Mike, what was all this magic technology you're talking about? Why are you streaming everything through OBS? You seen any other streamers have that happen? using StreamYard? Nope. Heyo. Raise the roof. Okay. It's also important to be juvenile at the Cool Kids table too, so just so you know. Absolutely, Cool Kids table. Glad to see you, Mariano. I mean, I got to tell you, buddy, you and I think two other guys are the guys that I think of when it's like afternoon here. And I'm like, I wonder if I should do a live stream. Like last night, I was thinking about doing one at 5 p.m. and I was just like, yeah, just not feeling it. You know, and again, I was like, well, what do I want to talk about? Well, one of the things that's happening in my life lately is this interface with my really good friends, you know, around depression. And I'm like, oh, let me just throw that up over, you know, I mean, again, it's, you know, I'm positive focused. I'm grateful and that sort of thing. But I don't know if I was going to say I had to. No, I don't have to. I wanted to just like hang out with you guys and pretty much talk about this. Because I'm curious, in your sphere of influence, in your posse that's like, you know, physically near you, you know, do you have buddies that are feeling that way? And I don't know, is there any magic nugget that like you give them and you're like, oh, Mike, lob this over the net and trust me? I mean, you know, humor helps, right? But it's just like, you know, it's kind of like, what do I do? In 10 years, most kids won't get the reference about a frozen leg. Yeah, right. I like hockey, but I love hockey from oh, dude, are you kidding me? Bobby Orr, dude. Bobby Orr. I grew up with, like there's about 4 hockey teams, okay? Boston Bruins, you know, Edmonton Oilers, you know, the originals, you know? But like Atlanta having a hockey, I mean, come on. That sounds like, you know, even the Mighty Ducks. It's like, dude, is it like some made up Disney, you know, thing? But yeah, anything that's like, you know, New England, Midwest, super cold, you know. Was it the Lightning? The Atlanta Lightning? No, that's not right. Anyway, it was a team that came up and it was like in the, you know, in the South. Big fan of the cement truck. I've always been impressed with cement trucks because, I mean, again, you know, you have to keep it moving, right? You ever see one that like it broke and it like stopped moving and then the guys are like pounding the thing out of that, try to get this. Sometimes they gotta slice it in half, you know? Anyway. And I'm really glad that you guys like hang out with each other in the Cool Kids table here and welcome each other. Look, I see you. But yeah, exactly. You measure your life in short times. That's actually probably a good idea. Second wave hits Germany. Ooh, ouch, bro. Are you in lockdown? Or can you get out? Oh, wait, hold on. I think you just mentioned, did my package ship? Great question. Let me check on that. Actually, I'll check on that here in a second. Yeah, good. I'm glad that Dana asked you the same thing. Finish my podcast first, 2 hours instead of 30 minutes. Ah, good for you, dude. Right on. Lockdown will come, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, and then Dana says, I guess there's going to be like a curfew thing here, but that doesn't really have anything to do with COVID. Do you like my wrench? Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Nice spanner. You're a dirty wench. I love it. Yeah, he does, but it's only in German. I mean, in other words, it's not only in German, but, you know, I mean, I wish that I knew that too. I wish I knew German. You never had a... Indeed, yes. He manipulated me. Mike, where's my wrench? Oh my God, your wrench went away? Yes, that was good though. That was good. Why am I not able to send a superheat? Do you mean super chat? Seriously? I mean, you can if you want, but you don't. It's not a requirement. Oh, it's the Tampa Lightning. Yeah, I mean, again, I love Tampa, Joe, and I love Florida. I love the West Coast of Florida, but a hockey team down there, it's kind of weird. 15 years and only 7 likes, guys. Come on. Thank you for that. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not expecting like a magic bullet, and I know that my really good friends aren't either. But, you know, I mean, I think I wrote this in the description or in the title or whatever. One of the things that I also wanted to touch on today now is something that another one of you guys asked me, which is, you know, why did you leave Cha-Am? And honestly, it was because one of the things that's important to keep me sane, along with all of the stuff that I do now, is hanging out with my buddies, like physically hanging out with my buddies. And, you know, again, chatting like I've chatted with you guys, you know, recently, and being like, hey, you know, so I'm doing this. Like, is this a good idea? Do you think I'm crazy? You know, that sort of thing. You know, you bounce scenarios off of your good friend. I speak for myself, bounce scenarios off of my good friends, and be like, hey, dude, so, you know, I'm like kind of looking like maybe like a, you know, like a young puppy at something. Like I'm tilting my head sideways. Like, wait a minute, this doesn't make. Am I doing the wrong thing here? Am I doing the right thing here? Or, you know, or am I just overanalyzing my life? And should I just go buy a friggin' smoothie with the €2 that Mariano gave the cool kids table? Which I'm going to do, actually. In fact, I got one yesterday from my coconut smoothie guy. And kind of like where I am, I mean, it's closer for me to walk home, but it's only like 2 blocks from my condo to go get a coconut smoothie. And I'll be in the mood for that later on. So I'll definitely take you up on your €2, buddy. Thank you so much. So, I don't know. It's, you know, I left. Well, here's the other reason why we left Cham. And thank you, Andy. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate it. What's not working? Oh, are you trying to super chat? Oh, you're physically in Cambodia, maybe. Good. I'm glad you're laughing out loud. You should laugh out loud. I'm just grateful today. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that it's oftentimes just that simple, right? And so I don't want to sort of just belabor that. Not too shabby, mate. Fantastic, but not in the gay way. I love you like only another man can, but not in the gay way. Cham I liked a lot because it's got beach on, I think it's Wednesdays, at least, you know, pre-COVID, right? They would clear off the entire beach. Like, I'm not talking like, you know, how like at the end of the night, like they bring all the chairs and they just like kind of stack them up. I mean, it was gone, like completely empty. Like the only thing on the beach was the beach. And that was awesome on Wednesdays. And they used to do that. And then later Wednesday evening, they would have the Wednesday night market, which was really big actually in Cha-Am, the Wednesday night market. And Gracie and I used to go to that and spend like, I mean, I think there were times where we spent like 1,000 or 2,000 baht just like on food, you know, and then brought it home and pigged out basically over the next like 2 to 3 days. So that was kind of cool. But I liked it because it was very Thai. Like not all. Many of the signs were in Thai. Many of the restaurants, their signs were in Thai. Some of the only way that we could order off the menu was like point to the picture, you know. And I like that environment, you know. Even the fact that even though I'm, you know, I'm friggin' illiterate, who just did? Oh, dude, look at that, Todd. Thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate it. Mango smoothie. Turned on the VPN. See, look at that. Boom. Sorry. Boom. How do I boom this? Boom. Turned on the VPN and re-entered in the room and how it works. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, like for some reason, you know, Google/YouTube doesn't want to take money from certain countries. It's like, okay, that's retarded. But thank you, Todd. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, what's the update? No curfew today, but they shut down the road at Chitlom. Oh, okay, yeah, I mean, that's fine. Oh, whoa, guys, this is coconut protein. You know what? I will tell you. Thank you, Joe. I miss that part of smoothies that I would get back home. Sorry, look at that. Boom. How cool is this, right? I mean, it's like instant justification. A little low, though. I want to make sure that, well, okay, it's low based on, because I get a couple of other pieces of data up here in the top left-hand corner, my left, your screen. So let me just move that down so that, so we can make sure we see the whole thing. There we go. But I got to tell you, I love using YouTube. I love using YouTube. I love using OBS as the, origination of content, basically. That then goes into StreamYard. However, what I need to do after this is I will listen to the audio. And of course, it's not really a good test because I'm not in a studio. But I think what we're going to do on Saturday, Dana, unless you have some massive objection to it, is we're going to instantiate our broadcast on my laptop through OBS and then squirt that into StreamYard. If for no other reason, then I'm just dumbfounded at why every single time we start a live stream, like the video's choppy and we lose audio. It's ridiculous, right? So anyway, so I'm hoping that we can avoid that tomorrow. So that would be kind of fun. But again, hey, Joe, Todd, you guys are so cool, man. You're so cool. I mean, it just blows me away. It just really blows me away. I'm honored by the fact that you guys participate, and, I'm not even dancing on stage and you guys are throwing money at me. So imagine what happens when you get here and Aztec is like, guys, I know the best spicy sausage. Just follow me. Here we go. Dana will be like, oh, I know where you're going. I know where you're going, cowboy. As soon as you say can't, but yeah, for some reason it's hard for I can't super chat. Oh, dude, thank you. See, I always do it wrong. It's a mirror image. Thanks, buddy. Kapuma Cop, man. Kapuma Cop. I should be paying you. I appreciate I appreciate talking to you yesterday. That's cool. So that's a Streamlabs alert, by the way, if any of you guys are streamers and you're wondering how that stuff shows up. And that is a default setting kind of thing. That is not anything I pay for. It's, it's anything. But anyway, Aztec. Thanks, Aaron. You're awesome, buddy. Hello, Mike's just landed in Bangkok. Hey, Todd. Good to see you, buddy. Dude, Todd, are you staying at the same... Todd, I'm sorry, Dave, gotta love Thailand. I got the two love Thailand in there, but anyway, good to see you, buddy. Glad you made it safely, and I anticipate that your taxi down to the place, if you're staying at the same place over in Siloam, his place was really nice. It was in a great area. I love that whole like Siloam area that's over there. That's like really cool. What does he say? Ping me tonight, and we can get set up ahead of time. Yeah, at the end of the day, Dana, if you want, the easiest thing to do really is for you to just instantiate a live stream and schedule it via StreamYard, and then you can just log into StreamYard on my laptop tomorrow if you want, or that way we can display the comments. Or if you want, I can instantiate it. The only thing I can't do is upload a really cool thumbnail. So if you want to just like make a thumbnail over the next 15 or 20 minutes and just shoot it to me in line, then I can upload that and start a thing and I'll have it ready to go, because I can connect my StreamYard to Bangkok Strange because I'm a admin, right? So anyway, mine is gratitude for the support and especially for you at Aztec. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, Todd. Yeah, he's cool, man. Both you guys are just great. And hey, right on. Yeah. No, you're a great man for taking us on this journey. Appreciate. Hey, you know what, man? I mean, it's just like, it's so cool how Todd's doing that, right? I really, yeah, thank you for that, man. I'm glad you said that. It's neat watching his videos. You're welcome. Glad you're here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, what's this? What's he saying? These guys in their super chats and their messages, attention seekers, stealing all the glory for a fleeting moment of fame on a live stream. Holds up mirror.com. Yeah. Good for you, Aztec. Good for you, man. That's cool. So I don't know, guys. I mean, I know that there's no magic bullet. I mean, other than, mean, again, one could argue that that's why many people turn to drugs, right? Because, I mean, the instant gratification of, snorting or shooting, it's like, oh my God, I feel euphoria within like seconds, and then of course I end up, I don't know what you guys do, but I'll just speak for myself. I ended up, past tense, thank God, chasing that, the awesome that I felt on like the first time doing whatever. It was like, oh my God, I literally chased that for just over 3 years, almost every single day. I mean, I can't think of a full 24 hours that I went without ingesting something that I tried to use to chase the euphoria that I felt on the first time. So, but the neat thing is that, as you might guess, because you guys know my story, a lot of times these buddies of mine that I'm talking to, they're also in the same club, right? I mean, so they're also like, well, look, I'm not going to use a substance to make myself feel better, so we talk it out or whatever. But, yeah, it's, I'm powerless over it, right? And then right on. Yeah. It's just because I honestly don't know how you make those thumbnails where like our pictures of our bodies. I mean, I guess you just cut around it and then add some like fuzz behind it. I mean, anyway, I know you do that. But again, all I know is that I'm going to outsource the crap out of that. And that begins with basically spinning up gigs on Fiverr. So, interestingly enough, I mean, I've encouraged my buddies to like, dude, find a live stream, like, not necessarily mine, but like find some guy on YouTube that you resonate with and, and buy him a smoothie. I mean, the majority of live streamers, have over 1,000, subs, of course, with the exception of, new ones that have started, i.e. Bangkok Strange. But, so you can super chat him or you can, PayPal him or whatever. And I don't know if he's on here right now or if he's listening or in the background or whatever, but I also want to say another big thank you to Nico Greco, who basically just, he was I mean, technically he wasn't because he can't, but was the first person to ever donate any money via Super Chat to Bangkok Strange because again, I was Oh, and you know what? I think we're going to do that again this weekend, actually, guys. I think we are going to do that tomorrow. We'll simulcast Bangkok Strange on Live My Ass Off as well as the Dana Bluin channel. And with any luck, that'll get us some folks to come over to Bangkok Strange if that interests them. I mean, we're not putting a gun to your head, that's for sure. Rose-colored glasses, try to wear them every day. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know what, dude? I just absolutely feel it. Good man. Just landed in Bangkok, and by that do you mean gotta love Thailand? No, he landed in Bangkok, not just landed in Thailand. As far as if you're referring to Dave or gotta love Thailand, from Surin, he that's where he lives with his now wife, and he comes down to Bangkok. He's got this Air Asia pass, and he's not at risk of losing it. I don't know if you know this, Dave, but I've had 2 no-shows now, and you're allowed 3, so. But that's okay. Twist my arm. It's what's getting me to Krabi on Tuesday. I'm going to Krabi on Tuesday, but we can talk a little bit more about that on Bangkok Strange. But yeah, I mean, one of these things that I do is I go to Lumpini Park. That's one of the things that kind of keeps me sane. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, he flew down from Surin. It's neat when I'm at places like this, and like there were some like guys, that table right there. There were some Thai guys hanging out over there, and it was funny. They were hanging out over there, and they're kind of like peering around, like these bushes right here. And they were like, okay, why is this laptop set up? Like this guy, he's got all of this stuff. He's got like this angled thing, fan, electrical. He's got, extension cord going on, He's got headphones draped over there. Like, why is he? I had a secondary camera that I was testing out. I would assume that's what they were talking about, because then I walked over and started walking over to this contraption, the mobile broadcast studio, and they were like, oh, they started laughing. Oh, he's the guy that left all of his equipment here while he trustingly went to the restroom. And it's funny you should bring it up, Dana, as it turns out, And I'll just say this, just with you guys, just with us girls here at the Cool Kids table, I'm going to Krabi. I'm going to Krabi on Tuesday because here's the thing. There's beaches in Krabi, and here's how I travel, especially since I've come here. Tongue in cheek, of course, I'm going to Krabi, but no, in reality, the way that I travel lately is I go somewhere and I traditionally will kind of just like stay in that one spot to experience it all. And then if I like it and I'm interested in other things, then I go back. The great example is I went to Koh Samui, and as you might guess, many people are like, oh, you're going to Samui. Are you going to go over to Koh Phangan? Are you going to go over to Koh Tao? Are you going to go, whatever? And if you go to Koh Tao, are you going to come back through Chumphon? And I'm like, no, I'm basically just going to Koh Samui. And I went to Koh Samui for 4 days, and then I really liked it. Then I went back to Koh Samui for 10 days, and that was awesome. And then I went to Koh Phangan, or Koh Phangan, I guess. I know how Dana and Jib love giving me crap about that. I should get like a T-shirt that says, I don't know how to pronounce Koh Phangan. And, so when I go down to Krabi, I mean, it's basically I'm going to go to Krabi. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to go to Railay Beach. I think I'm just going to go to Krabi and hang out at, I'm going to check out Krabi Town. And I'm thinking maybe what I'll do is I'll take like the bus over from the airport to Krabi Town, rent a motorbike there, then drive from there over to Ao Nang, see if I like it over there. If not, cruise, just ride back, kind of thing. And because in all honesty, the way that I'm sort of, my expectation is that I'm going to get down there and it's going to rain, pretty much every day, just because it's October, and that's totally fine with me. I'll hang out and maybe I'll do a live stream every day. I got to tell you, for the longest time, I have thought to myself, I would love to get up every single day and do a live stream every morning, like a morning show, But I get up and then I just am like, well, I'm kind of on vacation. I'm retired, so I don't, I kind of lose it. And then 5 or 6 o'clock comes around at night and I'm just like, I'm just going to watch the TV. Like tonight, I'm going to order a pizza. I'm in the mood for a pizza and probably have it delivered. So, and then, well, see, you know what, Joe? And I appreciate that because I have a very good friend and he tells me about the intensity, the high density of feces that are on beaches. Now, my rose-colored glasses don't pick that up. Like when I'm walking on the beach, I don't see any, and I actually blame his obsession with kitty litter. Some people are like hoarders. Some people collect stamps. Some people are into train sets, but Dana, he's got like this weird fetish for like kitty litter. And I'm like, what's up with that? And so, you might want to compare that to, thank you very much for following me. You see, guys, I'm actually digging these. This is like really cool. So that's those there. He's a zombie. He's following me. What was that for? Sorry, your phone froze. Oh. Yeah, I came from Streamin. I'm going down to Krabi. Joe, I'm going to Krabi. Krabi is the phonetical spelling. But yeah, I'm going to cruise down to Krabi. And I'm going to go on Tuesday. I'll probably come back Saturday. And just so you know, and we'll mention this tomorrow too, but because of that, our normal 9 a.m. Tuesday Bangkok Strange podcast, Bangkok Strange live stream, that will occur on Wednesday. And the normal Saturday 9 a.m. Bangkok Strange 1 week from tomorrow, that will occur on Sunday, the following Sunday. So anyway, we'll let you know. And again, we really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate you guys, coming by for that. You see, that's what I was curious about that because I think the last time that I was physically on a beach talking with you guys, and Dana was like part of the Cool Kids table discussion at that time. I was walking on a beach, didn't see any feces, but I remembered vividly, what Dana, does for a living because, I mean, he's all about that man card, and nothing says man card more than Jumbo Pen. So. So I get that. But yeah, that's where I'm going, Dana. I'm going down to Krabi. Joe and I are going to go down to Krabi with our Bangkok Exchange t-shirts. I forgot to wear them every day. I'm shuffling t-shirt. I'll probably wear my Bangkok Strange t-shirt on Saturday. We should both wear our Strange t-shirts on tomorrow. Dana. So it's 3:23. I've been doing this for about an hour. I'm actually going to head on home. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, 59 minutes and 50 seconds. So unless you guys want any degree of instant gratification and you want to post anything that will occur right here, by doing whatever you do, just so you know, I mean, it will they have to be cold. Yeah. I know his meat freezer, AKA Bangkok Strange Studios, the Stu Studio, because of course Phil Collins, Guys, if you get a chance, check out the new BangkokStrange.com website. Thank you for reminding the guys. Let us know what you think. Yeah. Personally, I think it's a lot better. It's a lot easier to navigate. But by the way, Dana, I signed up for the newsletter. I can't remember whether I got a notification of, I'll check my inbox. Well, I'll check it right now. I can't remember whether I got a notification of, hey, did you just sign up? Like double opt-in, as they say. But I don't think I did as part of the newsletter sign up. And let's see here. The other thing I wanted to share is let me know if you guys you go home to this. Let me cruise over to that. I think the video looks a lot better inside of StreamYard doing it this way, guys. I don't know about you, but I just think it looks a lot better. That's fine. Oh yeah, absolutely. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go home to that from here. It's obviously a lot nicer here. I'm a big fan of this environment here in the Big Mango. He didn't set up notifications. Okay, for the newsletter. And just so you know, guys, we talked about this because again, we've said, no PDFs, no PowerPoint, no drop shipping, no list, no funnel, but we did want to kind of have a way to communicate with you guys because as you know, one of the reasons that I wanted to get to 1,000 subs was for the community tab, not necessarily so you could super chat me, even though I know that a lot of you guys like the instant gratification of the super chat happening in 3, 2, 1. Okay, whatever. We want to be able to I don't know whether it's blast emails to you guys, but definitely to communicate to you. One of the challenges I have is when you guys, and I am honored by this huge time, but when you guys send me a PayPal, is I try my best to respond or reply or send an email back to the email address that's attached to your PayPal. And I can appreciate the fact that a lot of you guys have an email address that you don't really use. It's just your login to PayPal, so you may not necessarily get my messages, and that's fine. I mean, I don't send you an email expecting a response. I just want to thank you personally, for the money that you give to live my ass off. It's an honor. And so I try and do that. And so I actually have tried to set it up automatically. So I make sure what it does is it would send back a thing and say, hey, thank you so much. And thank you for everyone at the Cool Kids table. I'll get back to you really soon, because a lot of times I'll see it. Sometimes I'll get distracted. Sometimes I'll forget. Sometimes they come in the middle of the night and then I don't see them in the following morning. So, that's really cool. But look at what do you got going on there, Joe? Look at this, dude. Super sticker. Come back up, Joe. Thanks, buddy. You're awesome. You are totally, totally awesome. That brings us to an hour and 4 minutes. That's not so bad. Todd wants to thank everyone here for supporting him on his journey. He has also great support cast and everything he's done since he hit bottom. And I would like to say to you guys here, awesome, buddy. Yeah, and you're an inspiration. You're an inspiration, Todd. And and again, I think the neat thing is that there's no requirement to hit bottom. You just got to stop digging. There's no requirement to you just got to stop and then look up. So But yeah, thank you for sharing what you're doing, man. And I also, dude, we love you. And selfishly, we will be able to love you longer if you just consider, this is not, I'm not going to pester you, but if you consider stopping smoking. I am a former smoker, okay? And occasionally I will have a cigarette too. And I know how tough it is to quit, but selfishly, I just want to hang out with you longer, buddy. And, so just throwing it out there, not a lecture. But anyway, yeah, Joe, thanks for the $1.99. I'm going to grab a smoothie on the way home here. And what do you mean a little late? Oh, dude, forget it. There's no timing on this, whatever. Yeah, so it's not, I don't think he responded. Yeah, so I don't think it's double opt-in yet. I mean, again, he literally just put it up there. And this, he put this website together Monday, right? And so again, we're just trying some stuff out, but I'm sure it will be. And, we're using Google Sites. And so for the most part, there's a lot of plugins. But yeah, and the goal is not to have a weekly newsletter. Trust me, we don't have really the attention units for that. So, and anyway, so just love, baby, just throwing some love. Yeah, I know they're only $1.50, right? So where did you remind me where you came from? Were you in Manhattan? Because I think in the boroughs, isn't a pack of cigarettes there like $11? I think in San Diego, I think they were like $10, maybe like $9.50. Yeah, $10 less. That, yeah, I mean it's just crazy, right? The taxes. Yeah, no, that's absolutely that's high. I get it, man. I get it. Anyway, so with that, guys, we are at 3:31, and I said I would be done around 3:30, and I want to give these guys a chance to kind of clean up and close up their shop. I'm going to break my stuff down, and I'm going to go grab myself a coconut smoothie on the way home and blame you guys for my happiness. And I just kind of wanted to thank you guys for hanging out at this Cool Kids table today. Thank you for being part of my life. I'm honored to be a part of yours. And with that, it's Mike from livemyassoff.com saying I hope you're living the dream, because if you're not living the dream, then there's a high likelihood that you have not shared the Cool Kids table with any of your buddies that potentially were in a tough spot. Because I'm betting, whether I'm here or not, this Cool Kids table could absolutely help your buddies smile. And that's why we're doing this, man. We're doing this so we can smile. That's right, you were from New Jersey. I forgot about that. So anyway, with that, Joe, thank you. Todd, Mariano, all of you guys, thank you so much for being here. Dana, thank you for swinging by. Dave, I'm glad you made it here safely. That's totally awesome. I just want to make Aztec, buddy. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for your allowing me to go have a smoothie. And with that, it's Mike from livemyassoff.com saying I hope you're living the dream. Because if you're not living the dream, you could be doing it wrong. And I'll talk to you soon. Ciao. And don't forget, Bangkok Strange. BangkokStrange.com.